my name is Christina and you're watching Proud Book Lion, and today I'm doing the LGBTQIA plus booktube tag, which I'm really excited about. I was tagged by Chris from Vigilante Reads, and I'll leave his video and channel down below. You should absolutely check him out. Thank you so much for tagging me. It was originally created by Danica, and I'll leave her channel and video down below as well. But let's get into the questions. So question number 1 is, how do you identify? That's complicated, and I think that it changes all the time. Not because I'm very fluid, but rather that I'm learning more about labels and I'm trying to, well, educate myself. But currently, like today, and probably at least considering that I identified to be bisexual since I was 12, I'm currently 18, or actually since I was like 11. Anyway, currently I identify myself to be a grey, bisexual, demi-romantic, cis woman. Question number 2 is, what are some of your fave LGBTQIA plus authors and books? So first up, I have The Rest of Us Just Live Here by Patrick Ness. Patrick Ness is, from what I've gathered, a gay author. I love his tweets and he seems like an amazing human. I usually do not like recommending books as LGBTQIA+ when the main character does not identify to be queer. However, I know that Patrick Ness has a lot of books where the main character is, for example, gay. I think that his main character in Release that I have downstairs that I have yet to read is gay, as Patrick himself, and therefore I think that it's okay recommending this book. The Best Friend to Mikey is gay. This book contains, so please be aware of this, trigger warning and content warning when it comes to OCD. And Mel, Mikey, the main character's sister, she is recovering from anorexia, so be aware of that too. But I really love this book. It was really diverse and Patrick's writing is amazing, and I love seeing, well, representation when it comes to things that I strongly advocate for and strongly believe in, and those are, well, human rights. But when it comes to destigmatizing both mental illnesses and different sexualities and identities, because we are all valid here. Next up, I have The Princess Saves Herself, and this one by Amanda Lovelace. This poetry collection is about Amanda's life and how she grew up to be the woman that she is today. The first page contains trigger warnings, so if you're interested in picking this amazing poetry collection up, I would recommend reading the trigger warnings before you head straight into it. I really love this poetry collection. Amanda identifies herself as an asexual, which is really cool because, I mean, I'm on the A spectrum as well, and people rarely get some representation when it comes to asexuality, and a lot of people don't acknowledge that there's an A in LGBTQIA+. So that sucks. But we exist and we're valid, and I love Amanda and I love her poetry book. Next up I have Scars by Cheryl Rainfield, and she identifies herself as queer and feminist, so I mean, can you ask for more? I don't think you can. I really love this book, however I do not love the cover because it features self-harm, so that's why I'm showing you the back. Anyway, I really enjoyed it. Please be aware that it contains a lot of things. Trigger warning for rape, sexual abuse, and alcoholism, also self-harm, and probably quite a lot of things more. There's resources in the back, but there's no trigger warnings that I'm aware of. Maybe you can find Goodreads reviews where there's trigger warnings. I'm not really sure. If you're interested in picking it up, you can contact me or write a comment and I'll try to give you the full extensive list of trigger warnings, at least that I caught. But it's about this girl named Kendra, and she is dealing with the memories that are resurfacing from the sexual abuse that she was put through as a child, and she cannot for the life of her remember who the perpetrator is, and that is what she's dealing with. But she meets a lovely girl, so that's a good thing, and they kind of help each other deal with their own struggles, and I just love it because we rarely see female-female relationships, and we rarely see female and female relationships and mental health and mental illnesses represented in the same book, which we do in this one So I really love that. And next up I have More Happy Than Not by Adam Silvera. If you do not know Adam yet, you definitely should check him out. He's amazing. He's a gay author that I adore, and this is about a boy named Aaron, and he is also gay, and it's about him dealing with his sexuality, dealing with his past, dealing with his future, and overall dealing with his life. And that's not very easy, and happiness shouldn't be as hard as it is, but it's hard, and I really love this book, and I think you should read it if you haven't yet. Trigger warning for suicide, and if I remember correctly, there's an outing as well. There's probably a bit more trigger warnings though, but I can't think of them like that. I really love this book, and I love Adam, and I love his other books too. I've read History Is All You Left Me, but my personal favorite is More Happy Than Not because it was like one of the first books that I connected with. So lastly, I have The Queen, Hannah Moskowitz, with Not Otherwise Specified, where the main character Etta is bisexual, and she knows it and she owns it. She's recovering from an eating disorder. She's recovering from, if we're going by the terms that are used today, it would be considered an otherwise specified eating and or feeding disorder. But at the time where Hannah released the book, it was called Not Otherwise Specified Eating Disorder. Wow, eating disorders are complicated. But yeah, they are complicated, and Etta is a complicated character, but she is amazing. She knows herself, and she knows her own worth, and she does not let any labels define her, and she's just an amazing character, and I absolutely love her. And Hannah is so freaking awesome, and I love her tweets, and she makes my day, and she's like the best ever. She's bisexual too, so maybe that has something to do with it. I'm sorry, I'm biased. Okay, I'll stop with my bi puns. I'm sorry. I really love bi puns. They're like the best thing ever. But I absolutely love it, and Hannah is amazing, Etta is amazing, and this book is amazing. As I said, it contains eating disorders because Etta is recovering from one, and she's in a group where there's other girls that are also hopefully on the road to recovery. It also contains mild lesbophobia, but I cannot speak for that. But that's what I've seen and heard, and I think that it should be acknowledged because not all books are perfect. This book is not perfect, but I absolutely love it, and I think most of you would too. I'm sorry that question was long, but question number 3 is, how often do you talk about LGBTQIA+ books on your channel, and what videos of yours would you recommend people start with if they're looking for LGBTQIA+ recommendations and content? I personally think that I do not speak about LGBTQIA+ books enough, but I'm improving hopefully, and I'm growing more confident in my identity and my sexuality and just everything around that, so hopefully that will improve. If you're looking for some content of mine where there's LGBTQIA+ representation and well content, then I would recommend 3 Things to Talk About Bisexual Main Characters. I'll link that down below. I did make an LGBTQIA+ recommendation video early in my days, but I'm not sure that I stand by everything I say in that video, and a lot of those books contain only side characters that are queer, not main characters. So it's a bit disappointing, but I guess you could check that out too. And I try to mention them overall in my wrap-ups and other things like that. And I have another 3 Things to Talk About where I talk about intersex and how we need more sexes represented. So maybe that would be of any interest to you too. But yeah, I should probably try to incorporate it even more. Question number 4 is, what are some of my favorite LGBTQIA+ booktubers? And this is like super hard, and I will definitely forget people. Therefore, I'm doing like a limit for myself, so I'll mention 5 people, and those I'll probably tag too. But let's see, 5 people. Jillian from The Green Reader. She's amazing, and she identifies as bisexual. We have Lindsay from The Hufflepuffle, or Hufflepuffle Books, isn't it here on YouTube? I'm sorry. She identifies as bi and demisexual. She's absolutely amazing. I love her. And then we have Cav from X Reading Solace X. They identify as non-binary. And then we have Maddie from Maddie Lee Reads, and she identifies as bisexual. And then we have Cavs from Drowning in Bookland. He is amazing and he identifies as gay. There were 5 people, so yeah. There were 5 amazing queer humans that you should follow if you don't already. And I have a lot of other favorites, but I won't mention them because I'll forget people. Question number 5 is, when was the first time you encountered queer characters in books, and what was that book? And I thought about this and I got quite sad because I've been an avid reader for a long time, and I do actually genuinely believe that the first time I ever saw a bisexual character with that term was in City of Bones with Magnus. And I read that book in 2015. I identified as bisexual when I was 11-ish, so that would have been in 2010. So just thinking about that, not reading a single book during those quite important years where I couldn't identify, that makes me sad. But it makes me hopeful that future generations will be able to find and see themselves represented in books, because a lot of books that are coming out right now finally features people from all over the world with different identities and sexualities, which I adore. And lastly, question number 6 is, do you want to add something and who do you tag? I want to add that LGBTQIA plus humans and just queer humans are amazing, and I really think that we should be represented more and better, and that we are valid no matter how old we are or how we happen to identify, if we choose to use labels or not use labels, and if we have identified, like for example I identified as bisexual for quite some time now, but I pretty much figured out that I'm gray-sexual a week ago, and that's okay. I'm still valid, and you're still valid, and you're all amazing. Who'd I tag? I tagged the 5 people that I mentioned before. So I tag Kevs, I tag Cav, I tag Maddie, I tag Lindsay, and I tag Jillian. So you 5 people are tagged, and if you want to do this tag and haven't been tagged, I think you should do it anyway, because it's a really fun tag. And I mean, when do I ever say no to more queer content? Like, give me all the queer content. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed, and I hope that you have a great day / night / whatever part is for you. Your support really means the world to me, and I love you all. Bye!